Welcome to HealthPod, your self-development hub
on mental health, psychology, and spirituality.
Was there a time in your life where you didn't have this unshakable confidence?
You see, if you're comfortable, then you might skip the days when you skip the days and you don't work towards your dream. An author of the book called "Do Your Part, the Universe Will Do the Rest," and today it became a bestseller actually in Central Asia, which I'm.
So many people that they have very big dreams and they would love to go after them, but they don't really take the steps. So what would you say are the key steps that people need to take? Welcome to another Health Pod episode. I'm Hélène. I'm an empowerment and embodiment coach, and today we have Asel Sydykova. Asel is one of the most renowned experts in the world on unlocking human potential and building businesses that fuel your freedom. She's an entrepreneur and a thought leader with over $3 million in international businesses. She's the most renowned international female speaker in Europe and Asia, keynoting global events. She's also the author of the best-selling book, Do Your Best and the Universe Will Do the Rest. What a nice title, Asel. Asel, thank you so much for being on. It's a pleasure having you here. How are you today?
Thank you so much, Helena, for all the introductions. And I'm very happy to be here with you and spend some time with you because, you know, it's always good to be to add value to people's lives. So, yeah, let's have a good time.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, Asel. So I've done an introduction of you, but I would really love to know, who is Asel in your own voice, like in your own words?
I always when interview starts, and I've been invited so many interviews today. So I always say that I'm just a happy, very happy person. Like since I've achieved all the dreams, the goals that I've set many years ago, I'm just very happy because I finally achieved the most important thing in my life, which is to spend lots of time with my family and do what I love, travel the world, and to give to my parents everything that they've dreamed about.
What a beautiful, beautiful
Thank
wish as well for other people, right?
Yes.
So what is it that you do? Tell us about what you do and how we can also have that abundance, that lifestyle in our lives too.
Well, I'm an expert on unleashing the human potential, and I've been doing it for last 10 years all over the world. I've been speaking in over 30 different countries, different nationalities, different backgrounds, all our participants. So I also train people on public speaking. I've been training the politicians, the very well-known, famous business owners in Central Asia. Also, I'm a property investor. What else? Yes, I'm an author of the book called "Do Your Part, the Universe Will Do the Rest," and today it became a bestseller actually in Central Asia, which I'm grateful for. Yes, and I'm grateful because many people would probably learn from my story on how to build yourself from zero, how to achieve every single goal that you've set in your life, and how to have that unshakable belief in yourself, and especially in your dreams. And I'm a happy wife, I'm a mom, I have a fantastic, great family. I have 3 different businesses in 3 different countries. I have a great team, and I have a big number of very loyal followers that I'm grateful to them as well. On Instagram, over 1 million people who are today committed to change their devoting themselves to achieve all their dreams, the goals, and to build the lifestyle they always desired.
That sounds absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
I love what you said on having, this unshakable confidence in your beliefs and in your dreams. Was there a time in your life where you didn't have this unshakable confidence?
To be very honest, no, I didn't. You know why? Because I couldn't afford not to have it. Because growing up in a family where my parents were just the workers at the factory, the local factory, and they kind of gave all their like young age, like from 21 till about 35 5, I think, they worked basically at the factory, so for many years. And growing up, I knew if I'm not gonna make it, then my parents are never gonna live the lifestyle, to travel the world, to have all the beautiful things in life, if I'm not gonna make it. So I had all I had actually was the belief in myself and my dream. When I kind of moved to London, being just a simple girl from the village, all I had was my belief in myself and in my dream, and of course, in God. Because if I just believed only kind of in myself, but I didn't have the support of the God. Well, people don't believe in God, they say universe. Well, you can call it universe, but that's what helped me to get through the toughest times, when nobody believes in you, when the circumstances say, hey, you're just a simple girl, a simple immigrant girl, so you don't have a chances, you didn't complete some big universities, you don't have experience, you don't have a good level of English, because when I moved to London, I couldn't even speak English. So um, I couldn't afford not to have it. So I always had it, Helena. It's good that you asked me this question, because I immediately thought, I didn't remember a single moment or single time when I said, I don't believe in my dream, or I don't believe in myself,
Mhm.
because it was there, like solid. It was there
Mm.
inside, always, actually.
Mm. And that has everything to do with mindset, like the way that you speak to yourself, the way that you chase your dreams, the way that you take actions.
Mhm.
Um, would you have like a piece of advice around this? Because there's so many people that they have very big dreams and they would love to go after them, but they don't really take the steps. So, what would you say are the key steps that people need to take?
You see, the belief, like what you said, the believing in yourself and in your dream, it's the like fundamental thing. Without this, it's like a house without the foundation. Like the house without the foundation, if you just start building the walls on the ground and the roof, it will fall out one day. It's gonna be cold. It's not gonna be very good house, isn't it? So you have to have the foundation. And foundation is, first one, you have to believe in what you want. Otherwise, there is no point of starting. Otherwise, you start trying to build the house, the walls without the foundation. That's why. And when you ask the good question, how do you find that kind of unshakable belief? How do you build it? The confidence, believing in your dream. It's you have to be really, I mean, it sounds maybe cheesy a little bit, like Les Brown says, you have to be hungry, but then you have to be
Mm.
hungry for success. Otherwise, if you're comfortable, you see, if you're comfortable, then you might skip the days, when you skip the days and you don't work towards your dream. You're like, oh, you know what, I'm good already, so let me take action maybe next week, or let
Mm.
me do the things next week, or let me kind of so people tend to give themselves this kind of comfort, keep stuck in the comfort, and they don't take an action. So when you don't have that comfort, and when you're so hungry to achieve it, and when you, like Arnold Schwarzenegger says, when you don't have plan B, so plan A must work, and I didn't have plan B in case if I don't make it. There was never like this. There was not in case if I don't make it. There was like, I have to make it while I'm alive. If I'm alive, I'm gonna have to make it. That's it. So I didn't have this plan B. What if I don't make it? What if I'm going to UK? I'm moving to UK, such a young girl, without the money, without the education, without the knowledge, without the English language, without the friends, family, without the house, without the job. Like moving to UK, like I didn't have a choice. I had to make it there because I didn't have no support, nothing. So I had to make it. And of course, many people, when they start, the reason they don't take action, because they think, what if this happened? What if that happened? What is if it's gonna be tough? What if I get rejected? What if it's gonna be too difficult? Can I afford working on two jobs? Really? Do I have to? What if? So I didn't have what if. I just had plan, and you just stick to the plan. And what if happens, it already happens when you're doing it, and then you deal with it when it happens. And when you deal with obstacle when it happens while you're making your plan come true, that's when you get the experience, the
Mhm.
best experience ever. And that's when you grow, become solid, strong. That's when you become resistant to any kind of, whatever obstacles. But if you start thinking about the obstacles in advance before you even take a single step or actions, then people suffer and they say, oh, wow, they draw this big picture in their head, how difficult it's going to be, how this and how that, how they have to sleep very little, work very hard, how they're gonna miss out on all the parties, on all the drinks, on all the nice stuff in life. And then of course people kind of talk themselves out of this. But if you say, hey, this is my big dream, this is my big goal, and of course in advance that it's gonna be difficult, but my focus is on plan that I wrote down to myself. The plan, let's say if I wanted to buy my first house, the property in London, I said, my plan is how to save to deposit, to initial deposit, to down payment. So I
Mhm.
don't start, oh, where do I take? Do I have to take extra work and with this? I start doing, this is the money they need to find for down payment. This is the money I need to earn. Okay, the plan is this. Okay, extra work, this, what are the ideas? I write down. Let me brainstorm and write down at least 15 ways to how can I raise my income? How can I get more money in next 3 to 6 months? So I think about this. I focus on master plan. I focus on my plan. I take step. And when the obstacle hits you, it will hit you, of course.
Mhm. Mhm.
Then you deal with it on the spot and say, okay, this is the obstacle I have. This is the problem occurred. Okay, how do I deal? You deal with it. You get the experience. You get stronger, and you move forward. And that's how people who believe in themselves and their dreams they act.
That's incredible advice. That's really valuable. And
Mhm.
it's a great reminder that when you are working towards your dreams, you really have to, you're on this boat and you have to burn the islands behind you because there is no other option, right? And therefore you're going in the direction that you've put your focus on. Um, and I love what you say about obstacles. We tend to make such a big deal out of the obstacle before we've even tried that there is no obstacle, but we've created an obstacle by not even trying.
Yeah,
Um,
true.
and yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
And
most of the time, Helena, most of the time, I tell you from my own experience, most of the time, the obstacle is not that bad as you would imagine it in advance. Like, not as bad, not seriously.
yeah.
Even when you start doing it, you understand you're capable of doing. Like, I mean, if you don't believe in God, okay, universe will never give you, or people who believe in God, they understand God will never give you the obstacle bigger than you. The God will give you, the universe will give you the obstacle you can handle. So if you have the obstacle, the challenge, that means 100% you can handle it. That's it. God will never give you the obstacle you cannot handle. That's 1,000,000%. Absolutely. That's why you should not be scared in advance. Once you know this, hey,
Mhm.
I will never receive an obstacle I cannot deal with. Universe will never send me the obstacle I cannot handle. That's it. Boom. You stop kind of being scared of it. That's it.
That's absolute gold. I would say that's gold. Yes, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, Asil, you mentioned that you were an immigrant and you migrated to London. At that point, you were very poor, from what I assume. Yes, and you built no. Okay.
Yes, I came actually. It was like this, I grew up in a very small village in Kyrgyzstan, it's Central Asia,
Mm-hmm.
and surrounded by mountains. I mean, that was the Soviet times, when there was a Soviet Union, and we were part of the Russia before. So
Mm-hmm.
and my parents were just the workers at the factory. That's it, working paycheck to paycheck. And obviously, this money was never enough to. And I remember myself being small. Always, my classmates, some of them whose parents were like entrepreneurs, selling clothes, etc. They would dress well. This, and I would say, why can we ever dress nice? Why do we always have this answer? We don't have money. We don't have money. So I kind of by the age of, I think, 14, 15, I said, I'm tired of hearing year after year, month after month, we don't have money, we don't have money. And I said to my parents, you know what, my parents, I promise you, mom and dad, I'm going to become so successful and so wealthy. I'm going to give you everything that you've missed out on. I said, I just gonna, and that was my kind of dream and goal. It's not like just being rich for sake of being rich, but it was to become really truly wealthy, to give my parents everything, like everything they've missed out on just by working on the factory and trying to feed. They had 4 children. It's 4 of us. I'm the oldest. To feed 4 kids, and that's my biggest drive. I'm like, I'm gonna throw the biggest challenge challenge myself to become really rich and to really give my parents everything. And that was my drive. Every single day I go to sleep with this thought of how am I going to set my parents to around the globe, to travel, to have all the best cars, the best house, the penthouse, whatever. And I would go to sleep with this idea. I would wake up with this. I would go to bed. And then I say to my mom one day, I said, Mom, I see all these movies, and unless you go to America, I cannot make it here. I need to fly to America, chase American dream. That's why I said I go to university after the school to study English so I can become like an English teacher or something. So I applied and I successfully failed everything. So I wasn't admitted to university, to the English language course. And I said, and they said, we don't have money to pay the tuition, etc., and everything. And so I completed the Russian philology. I kind of applied again, and I passed. And I was 5 years in the uni Russian. I kind of graduated being a Russian philolog, basically. So Russian philology is my kind of degree, so. And then I said, okay, now I have my diploma. But they dreamed all their life that their children graduate, because none of them, they have obviously diploma. They never graduated university, so their dream was. So I said, okay, I graduated, brought my diploma, handed it to my mom and my dad, and I said, now I'm free to go after my dreams. This is diploma. You can proudly say to people, show to neighbors the diploma, and say my daughter is graduated. She has this degree. And I tried to go to America, but couldn't, didn't receive visas. But I made it to UK, London. So I came. Now imagine a young girl, is just the beginning of 2000. Obviously, you're very young. Helena, you probably maybe a schoolgirl or something, or maybe, I don't know if you were born maybe that. So I don't know. So it was beginning of 2000. I think 2001 or 2001 or 2002. 2000, so beginning, so it's end of the 90s, the toughest period of time. So I came to London, Heathrow Airport, with huge 2 bags of the clothes, young girl, short skirt, here's the vest. And I thought, I literally, no one I know, no friends, no relatives, no job, just I think 1 month paid room. Basically, it's like a lodger. I was like a lodger, so room paid for a month, and that, and $100 I remember I had in my pocket, $100, but I spent it on a plane, because it was first time in my life I sat on a plane. First time in my life I sat on a plane. I had $100 in my pocket, and I remember buying this Chanel. The duty-free air hostess walks by, and I said, oh my gosh, I never in my life had a perfume, and I saw this only on TV ads or something. Like, I said, this is something amazing. So I spent that $100 on the perfume that I never actually used. I didn't like the smell of the Chanel. So then I came to London, and I sat on this underground. I came on the other side, and wow, I'm in the Queen's land. And that's where my immigrant life started, because no one would literally, I said, I have only 1 month, because then I have to have the money within 1 month. So I need to pay the rent and buy myself a food and a travel card, etc. So I started applying for the jobs everywhere. Everyone is refusing. No one wants to employ this poor young girl from Kyrgyzstan who speaks such a bad English, who is like no one. And I'm every day from morning till the evening. Then I didn't have obviously the computer or anything. I would go to internet cafes, like in London. There would be lots of internet cafes, and I was living like where the West Green Road is, like Seven Sisters, the roughest, one of the roughest part of London. So I would come to internet cafe on the West Green Road, and you walk there, and it's like people smoking marijuana, and it's like Nigerians, Somalians, the smell of marijuana, raw fish, like every single day. I remember that. It's like the memories. And I would go to internet cafe, apply, and send all these hundreds of resumes. Like in 1 hour, I could do like £1. It was 1 hour, and no one would literally like hire me. And I thought, oh my gosh, no one wants to hire me, like no one wants to give me a job. So I started working on the streets, and finally I found a job as a dishwasher at the local cafe. So I started washing the dishes 12 hours a day, morning till the evening, every day. So that's how it started. But the thing is, like I said, my big dream, that the unshakable belief in myself, was always there. That's something that I wouldn't even let go, even when I was washing the dishes, even when I couldn't pay my rent for a month. I didn't have any money for the travel. I had to walk like miles and miles to get home. And but there, I said, I just cannot afford to give up. I just cannot afford not to make it, because I made such a big promise to myself, my parents. And they when I was leaving to UK, they had like such a big hope. I said, I'm not going back. So the toughest time started because I couldn't top up, obviously, the gas, electricity. So the room would be like cold, freezing. I wouldn't have like lights. Even in winter, I wouldn't like obviously put the heating on. So it was freezing. I would sleep in my jacket on. The damp, the condensation would drop. Like it was just terrible times. But I guess I had to go through this. But of course, I had some period of time when I said, "What am I doing this like in this huge country, UK? I'm a foreigner. I don't speak proper English. I'm like a dishwasher. I'm suffering here. Like tomorrow, I'm gonna be kicked out on the street. Where am I gonna sleep? What am I gonna eat? So it was some kind of, maybe I should just fly home, where at least I have my relatives. At least we have our own like place to stay. But I said no. I need a plan. And in my head, then like 2000, I don't remember that so many seminars or trainings like now, master classes like everywhere, YouTube, everywhere, seminars, everyone is a coach, everyone is a trainer. You open Instagram, everyone is teaching. You open TikTok, everyone is teaching. But then no TikTok, no Instagram, no WhatsApp, nothing. So no one is teaching. So I didn't know even there was a seminar. So I had to turn to the library. I came and I said, there must be a clue. There must be, if there are some like rich people. I'm obviously standing on the streets of the London, and I see beautiful cars. I'm walking past these houses, and I would walk and look at the lights in their windows and say, look, they have nice houses. They have beautiful, expensive houses. That means people are making money. There must be some kind of formulas. So I started looking for the clues, and obviously I turned to the library, got so many books, started reading all this Donald Trump, Richard Branson, different. Obviously, I don't have a good English, so I had to use the dictionary. It would take me like a day or 3 days to read one page, to translate it, then second page. I would wash the dishes, read the book, come home, read the book, and search for the clues. And because I knew I needed a plan, and that's how I started. And when you start doing your part, you do your part no matter what the obstacles. Like I said, you see, Helena, the obstacle hit me. Obviously, I don't have gas, I don't have electricity tomorrow. But I deal with it at the moment. So if I sit there in my country, say, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go to London, no English, no this, no my," yeah, I'm gonna struggle. How am I gonna pay the bills? Am I gonna get evicted? Am I gonna get kicked out? Am I gonna find the job? Am I gonna this? Then I probably wouldn't take it a step. But you deal with it as it comes. And then as it comes, then you deal with it. again, God will never give you the obstacle you cannot handle. So I handled it, and then I was doing my part, and one day I was doing different odd jobs, different. I was nannying, housekeeper, dishwasher, cleaning the hotel rooms, waitressing, bar, every job possible that didn't require any education, whatever, where they would hire immigrants like myself. I would just do all the jobs. And one day when I was working as a housekeeper slash kind of babysitter, I received this message, and it says, National Achievers Congress in London. And that's when I said, oh my gosh, that's National Achievers Congress in London. And there would be like different speakers speaking. I said, I need to be there, because I just say to me, and then I don't have money for the ticket. Obviously, and again, many people, how do they miss out on opportunities? When opportunity presents, they say, oh, you know what? I'm actually busy on the day. I'm going to my friend's birthday party. Or, it's a Saturday. I just want to sleep or go to picnic. I want to, you know what? That's the thing. And people miss out. That, I call that an open door, when the door opens. So I was doing my part. Suddenly this opportunity comes, and then I saw it as an open door. I said, oh, the door is open. I must be there. I don't have money for the ticket. Yes, I'm going to borrow it. It's only £35. That's crazy. I didn't have £35. And I started calling all my friends. Rachel, borrow me £10. Samantha, Martina, I need to be there. I need to learn. And then they borrowed me money. I went. I attended the Congress 3 days. I was sitting there literally with my mouth open, because they were like presenting and speakers. It was the first seminar like in my life. And that's when the first time I saw other speakers teaching actually the strategies, giving the knowledge that I was so needing. And then speakers one by one coming on stage. One talks about how to become rich, becoming a property investor. Another one says how to write the best-selling book, how to trade on Amazon, how to do eBay, how to be a business entrepreneur, this. I was sitting, I thought, oh my God, I can be rich if I only learn to think like these guys think and do what these guys do. And that's when I signed up for one of the course. Again, I didn't have money. I left my card. Then they called me in 3 days. They're like, is this Miss Sydykova? I'm like, yes, your card was declined, so you won't be able to attend the seminar. I said, just give me 3 days. I promise you the money is going to be there. And you won't believe, Helena, because the people were calling me, they were from Success Resources sales team, the company that I later became a sales manager. And then this and I started the British office. I was managing all the partners. It's later, I'm just jumping ahead. But then obviously they were calling and they're like, your card was declined, Miss Sydykova. And I said, listen, give me 3 days and I promise the money is going to be there. So again, I called all my friends. I borrowed the money. I need the money. Ta-da! Money was there. I attended another course, but the course was like T. Harveka, 3 days, Millionaire Mind. And I came out of there and I said, and I cried my eyes out, because I said, this is the knowledge that I was missing. Now I know how I can apply it in my life. So I started calling all my nanny friends. Then I was working as a nanny. I said, listen, guys, do you want to be rich? If you want to be rich, come now to the park and I'm going to share everything that I've learned. And they're like, oh, Asel, are you joking? We're just an immigrant. She's from Croatia. She's from Ukraine. This one is from Brazil. Like Daria is from Ukraine. Martina is from Croatia. Rachel's from Brazil. What millions are you talking about?
Yeah.
We're like just the simple immigrants. Why are you so crazy? Why are you talking about all this? What's wrong with you? I'm like, does anyone wants to be a millionaire? So anyways, and then that's how it started. So I've learned, and one of the days, by the way, when I went to attend this 3-day course, I was sitting there and I hear these people talking in Russian. So it was unusual because obviously I understand Russian, and unusual because obviously seminar was in English, 3 days in London. And the way they were speaking Russian, they were like, what are we going to do? They were like very, very kind of unhappy about something. And I stood up and I like came to them and I said, sorry, can I help you? Like in Russian. And they were like, oh yeah, you speak Russian. I'm like, yeah. And you speak English. I'm like, yeah. And they said, you know what? We have this problem. Our interpreter, the translator didn't show up basically. Well, the reason they didn't show up because they didn't receive visa, and we're here, the group, the delegates from Russia, all over the Russia, we like saving money so long. We paid for tickets, flights, hotel, translation, visas, everything, and now we don't have translator and we don't speak a single word of English. And the seminar is about to start, and it's like 3 days. What are we gonna do? Of course, they're very unhappy, very like, what are we gonna do now? It's like that's crazy because Tihar Weka was actually going to the pension afterwards, so it was his last one, and he said, this is the last seminar I do, then I go to pension. And they were like, what? And they're like to me, can you help us? And I'm like, you know what? I'm not a translator. I mean, I understand, I speak the language, but the translation is a bit different. So before I even managed to refuse, they like sent one of the group, one of the person, he just ran away and he comes back with this huge suitcase. I'm like, are they trying to offer me this money suitcase? And they opened there some headsets, the translation headsets. So they put it on themselves, give me the microphone. I'm like, and they're like, thank you. And I said,
Oh, you got thrown into it.
and I'm standing at the back of the room, and everyone. I actually came as a participant as well myself, the second time. So it was first time I attended, then I bought the ticket. Second time I decided to attend because he was going on a pension. So they're sitting there, and I'm at the back, and the seminar starts, and the Tihar Veka comes on the stage, and like a magic happens, like complete like craziness, because he starts talking and I start translating like 100% simultaneously, which I was translating and I'm like shocked myself. Like, how am I translating? And 3 days in a row, 12 hours a day was seminar, 3 days in a row. So the seminar finishes and I see this, everyone is running to the stage to take a picture with the speaker, and the Russian group, they just run to the back. They're running towards me and they run and they hug me and they say, you know what, Asel, we didn't listen to Tihar Beka, we were listening to you. And they were like hugging me, thanking me.
Wow.
And on that day, actually, and I look at the right and there's the guy, the translator guy, well, man, he comes out of his translation booth. They even have the translation booth apart. And he's like, extended hand, he's walking towards me and can I shake your hand, please? I'm like, yeah, sure. He's like, 25 years of experience in translation. I've never seen anyone like this. He's like, 3 days in a row, 12 hours a day, by yourself, alone. I need to shake your hand. German, it was a German translator, and another 3 translators popped out of the booth. So there were 4 of them, and they were switching every half an hour, so their brain don't get cooked. And I was doing by myself. So obviously on that day, I got noticed by the owner of the Success Resources, Veronica Tan, Richard Tan, and they invited me for dinner. So another window of opportunity. They invited me for dinner. There I met Ihar, everyone I met that day. And then she actually offered me a job in the company. And I said, you know what, I have to tell the truth. I'm not a translator. And she goes, can you sell? Can you be in a sales team? I'm like, I can learn anything. You know, and then she said, okay, listen, she like left a note on my table. She goes, and I read the note, and she goes, can you fly with me to Munich tomorrow to translate to this Russian millionaire? And I was like, I'm translator, I'm an interpreter. I called the family I was working. I'm like, listen, I'm quitting. Like, why? I'm a translator. So anyways, that evening she invited me for dinner. And then we were flying next day to the Munich. I was translating to the Russian millionaire. But she offered me a job in a company, Success Resource, London office. That's where my career started as just a simple sales girl. Then I grew up, became one of the great salespeople. Then when I was giving the sales department as a director, the sales manager. Then I was raised to the business development executive. Then I became business development director. Then I started managing the whole Europe region. So that's how my career grew. That's how, you see, when you do your part, the universe just, or the God opens up the doors that you never expect will open up for you. You don't know where the door will open, but
Mm-hmm.
as long as you enter the door, because all those doors, they're not like very obvious. Hey, if you go to this seminar, this is gonna happen. It's never obvious. That's the, if it was too obvious, then everyone would be like rich and whatever, famous and happy and slim. But you know what, you have to see the open door, and you have to enter it. You need to find that. So, and then I started managing the partners. Then Veronica said, look, something was with the speaker he couldn't make. He said, I wanted to go and speak. Obviously, I didn't want plan to be a speaker. Then she sent me, it was terrible speech. Like, obviously I wasn't there, very experienced. Then second one, many failures. But then suddenly, finally I realized, hey, I can actually, with all the preparation,
Mm-hmm.
with a good preparation, I can speak. And then I realized I can really speak very good. And then that's how my career as a speaker grew. I started doing the previews for Tony Robbins all over the world. I did a big tour. That's where I get all my experience. I was managing the sales team as well. That's where I learned all the best kind of knowledge as in the sales.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's how. Then I started investing in basically, the idea was, remember, to buy property for my parents, but I
Okay.
bought a property
Main
for
goal.
myself. They are for my parents, but then I realized I like it. Then I started investing second, third, fourth, fifth property. Then I grew a very big portfolio of the properties. Then yeah, properties. Then I opened a business in Kazakhstan, second business in Kyrgyzstan. I was in London as well, one. So that's how it all went. And then I became kind of a big brand in Central Asia, because when I started sharing the knowledge on my Instagram, I didn't realize that it would be so valuable that I got so many followers. And yes, I sent my parents to travel the world. Today they're living the life of their dreams. My parents seen the whole world. They live in London for many months, in Rome, Italy, Spain, Singapore, France, Paris. They've been all the different cruises, different. So my parents just travel all the different resorts. I said, your job, mom and dad, is just rest and enjoy your life. That's your main job. That's it, nothing else. So basically, I bought my mom a beautiful apartment in the center of the city. My dad, and that's basically everything they've ever wanted now. And you know what? Funny thing is, my dad, he knew that I was entrepreneur, but he didn't know how famous I was because he wasn't on social media. And just recently, like a week ago, it was so funny because he was like, Asel, I just saw your interview on national TV and you were telling your story. He was like, why you never told me? Like, you were so famous and like so actually rich. I said, Dad, it's just, because he thought I was just a businesswoman and just doing a business. And he just literally found out like a couple of weeks ago, because well, I wouldn't tell him all the story about my struggles and everything. They never actually. My dad heard the story recently because they invited me on an interview just like this, and I was telling my
Yeah.
story, and
Yes.
he just found out, and he was like, oh, he was like, I'm so proud. I said, Dad, it's been like 10 years. Oh, great. So yeah, actually the story. But the reason I like to share it, because if a simple girl from the village with nothing but the big dream can do, I think anyone can achieve any goal.
Mm, mm.
Anyone. Yeah.
Very, very inspirational story, Asil. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much for sharing it. I'm sure it's going to inspire many people to realize that it's possible. It's possible for
Yeah.
everybody to have the life of their dreams, and not just in financial aspect, but in every area.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I
Yeah.
believe. because happiness is not just a success, financial is one of the aspects. Yes, you don't have to be like a millionaire in order to be successful. As long as you're happy in your life, you do what you love, you do the things, you help people, you contribute, you enjoy every day, waking up every day, then you are successful already.
Yes.
So yes, this is very important. But can I share with you, Helena, one of the things that I talked some time ago with a billionaire, like millionaire is one thing, billionaire guy from Kazakhstan, and his definition, when I asked him, so what is like happiness to you?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, very good thing, I like it. He said, who is happy? The person who is truly happy is the one who is not, first one, is not worried about what happened in the past. Like he doesn't go to the past again and again and kind of bring it up all the time and kind of dig
Mm-hmm.
into.
Mm-hmm.
The person who is happy, he is not worried about the future. Like, what is the future holds? It's gonna be a crisis. Am I gonna make it? What's gonna happen? So, and he enjoys, appreciates the present. So he
Yeah.
said that's the true happiness. When you appreciate the present, especially like when I do my program Mission to Million 90 days. By the way, I have an English version as well now. English version 60 days. I say every morning you wake up, in order to wake up from smiling from ear to ear. In the morning, you wake up before your right foot hits the floor. You count your blessings very quickly. You open
Mm-hmm.
your eyes, like we say Alhamdulillah. Let's say you say thanks God. Oh my gosh, I have such a loving husband. My kids, look at this house. Look at this sunshine is on the wind. I woke up. I opened my. I didn't die last night because many people don't wake up the next morning. Many people. It's interesting how many people don't think about this. Actually, they don't. So you woke up. You woke up. You open your eyes. You can hear. You can smell. You're grateful. You count your blessings. You wake up. You're already happy because many people they cannot see. They cannot hear. They cannot walk. They cannot pee themselves. They need someone's help. They need, and it's already you are already blessed enough to wake up with a smile on your face and say, I'm so grateful. And then when you get used to it every day, then you start attracting more beautiful things because you're paying attention to those things. So it's
Yes.
amazing.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I really love that. Um, so many people spend so much time in the past or the present, sorry, in the past or the future,
Yeah,
that they
yeah,
forget about
yeah,
the present moment and all the
absolutely.
beauty in this moment. It's exactly right here, right now. And when you tap into that, there's so much unlimited potential in that. And that's exactly what I was going to ask you, because you were talking about these opportunities, these open doors, essentially synchronicities that may occur for you. And the only way to actually see them is
Mhm.
when you are aware enough to be able to see them. Because I feel that so many people miss so many opportunities that are right in front of them because they don't have the capacity to see.
That's the thing, Helena. You see, opportunities, they surround us all the time, opportunities. But
Mm,
people don't see that as an opportunity. That's why they
mm,
opt
mm,
out to choose something for pleasure. And that's the thing, that's the key. You opt out for quick, short pleasure, instant gratification. You miss out on big opportunity and a big real door. And so they say, let's say, oh, you know what, I need to, let's say, read this book, work on my plan, develop whatever, write 10 pages of my new book or develop my course or do this, that, or work extra hours to save for the deposit, let's say down payment, and they choose, oh, I'm going to the party, whatever. I'm going to the pub on Friday because my friends are going, and they
mm-hmm.
choose instant pleasure, which gives them very short pleasure. It's only for 3-4 hours. You get drunk, you go home. That's it. Your pleasure is finished. You get nothing out of this. Zero. Yes, you talk to your friends, whatever, whatever. But that's the thing. Friends are great, but you have to understand that your friends are building their own life, building their own future. You're not there. You're there just a friend. Your part is a friend, but they're
Mm-hmm.
building their own. You building your own future. But when you swap all the time, the good times, the short, good times sort of is like a It's like, it's short, very short pleasure. You swap
Temporary.
it all the time, temporary, short. Then you miss out on a big. That's how many people in Europe, by the way. I lived in UK. I can speak. Miss out on the big things because they keep opting out for these short, quick pleasures. Short, quick, whatever. I'm going to the cinema. It's been long week. I've been working. Now I need to do 2 days drinking in a pub, watching the movies, eating popcorns, and walking with my friends and talking nothing. And that's and the time passes. Then what happens? They sitting and praying for their pension, and this is what they do. This is how people work. This is how people, not maybe on the Western world. Like I've listened recently, one lady from America and said, "Hey, you guys think you glamorize America, things so great, but the thing is, we realize all our lives we worked for the paycheck to receive the pension." And our pleasures for Saturday and Sunday to drink this beer, watch the movie, eat popcorn and ice cream, bad food. Even the one that doesn't give you even a good stuff, good for your health. And that's it. That's the time passed. And that's what happens with people. And this is my advice for younger women, younger generation. Like, hey, do not waste, do not keep opting out for good short pleasures because you're missing out on a big doors. It's better to miss out on these small pleasures, but then to live the life like right now. I have all the time in my life and money and spend whatever I want, however I want. I can do 7 days partying if I want, 10 days, 24 days partying, whatever, movies, popcorn. I don't, because I have this opportunity. But because at some point I say, listen, no, I have a chance to go to the pub, whatever, have a dinners. But no, I choose the time to sit and plan, to sit and pray, to sit and focus on my goal, to sit and read that book, to write down my strategy, to go do extra work because they're going to give me extra money to save tomorrow for my financial freedom. Because people are working for financial slavery. They're working paycheck. One day they're old. They cannot do extra work. They don't have energy to plan, to strategize anymore. They don't have hunger in their stomach, the fire in their stomach, because the time passed. While you're young, you do it now. While you have fire, energy, time, this, you do it now. But the Western people, this is how they miss out. And that's why I became financial free at the age of 37. I mean, it's late, of course. I'm not saying it's early, but 37, I'm already in a pension. From 37, I pay my own pension. I don't need the government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Asil, tell us about your book. Do your best and the universe will do the rest.
Yeah. So the book is the reason this book is it's my heart and my soul, because here I told my story. I told about or talked all about all the struggles, and that's like what I was talking right now. The whole idea about seeing the opportunity of open doors, about doing your part even when you don't see your dream is coming your way, because when you start like as a you're washing the dishes on a West Green Road, and you how much I was getting paid £400 a month, £400 a month, but working like double shifts, £400 a month, working double shifts, morning till the evening, evening till the midnight, every day. I was working like really hard. How do you see your big dream becoming a rich? How can you imagine, Helena? You cannot. Washing the dishes, being so poor, like you have no place, no money for the bus. You don't have even £1.20 in your pocket. You live kind of just to cover up whatever bills, whatever. You don't see that big dream. How do you see? But then that's the thing. At that moment, you must say, hey, this is my journey and this is the part of this journey. And I'm gonna do my part every single day, what it takes to do from me, from myself, which is what was at that moment doing my part. Going to the library, bringing those books, sitting and looking for the formulas, planning, dreaming, praying in my room. I said, you know what? I didn't know how to pray. I just believed. I knew that there is God, obviously the creator. We cannot just appear on this like this and disappear like a fart in the air somewhere. So we obviously created by something, by God. So I was sitting, praying, asking guidance. I needed guidance. Oh God, I have no one. but God. I didn't have no one. I didn't have neighbors who come to me, knock and say, hey, are you hungry? Shall we bring you food? Or I didn't have people who would say, do you need a help? Do you need a money? I didn't have no one but God. That's it. Because I couldn't even call my parents. I didn't have money in my mobile, like no phone. The credit to
Yes.
call
Yeah.
my parents. So I didn't
Mm,
call my parents even. So at
yeah.
that moment, I talk in my book about these challenges,
Mhm.
and when the door opens, you have to see that. And before the door opens, Helena, you asking a very good questions, because before the door opens, right?
Mhm.
You have to keep doing your part. You have to keep whatever it is, small steps. When you say no to small, quick pleasures,
Yeah.
when you say, hey, you guys enjoy your party, your
Mhm.
drinks, I am gonna be sitting there and praying my heart off to God and say, God,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna stop praying
Mhm.
until you give me this
Mhm.
penthouse on my dream, husband of my dream, or children, or my business until I'm not leaving you. I'm not stopping. I'm gonna dream. I'm gonna write down. I'm gonna do. And that's how you use your time. Well, and then when you make it, then you do what you want now. You want to party, go party. You want to do this. But do it while you're young, not when you're old and when you're pension and you're sitting. You don't want anything. You're an old fart. You just lie
Mhm.
down and then sleep. You don't want to party. Or
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
you make.
what's the next step for a seal?
My next step is more spiritual. I've realized, Helena, because before it was all finances, financial, I mean, like success, wealth. But then now I'm doing lots of charity work, really, because I love helping many children and stuff in the country as well. Lots of charitable work in the country. And my next step is I want to be actually doing lots of free workshop on this, on spiritual, on connection with God, on realizing that this life is really short, and that's the fact. No one can argue with this fact. Well, people think, well, if they live till 70, it's long. Come on, it's not long. I'm already 45, tomorrow 50. It's very short, quick. So it's gonna finish. This life is temporary. That's fact. And to build the afterlife, to build the next one. I'm very spiritual, and I believe on all this 100% because I've read so many books. I like the holy the what do you call the books that talk about this, like whatever, the Bible, the Quran, the all, because I was searching for answers, and that's my next step, to kind of to deliver to people, to say, hey, listen, we are beings that this is not over, this is the short, this is the next. We have to build it
Yeah.
through different things, through the things that we do, the good stuff we do, through thinking about that, kind of giving yourself the thoughts, thinking not just here, because when people are spiritual, when they have a God in their heart, then they actually do the right things here as well while they're alive. So
Right.
that's my next step. And of course, I want to have more kids, even though it's a bit late because I've started family late, but I need more kids. I mean, I want to have a bigger family. So to grow my family, that's also the goal.
Beautiful. I wish that for you. I wish that
Thank
you'll
you
wish
so
that.
much. Thank you.
I'm
Thank
sure it
you.
will. Okay, so I have two more questions for you.
Mhm.
Um, I would like to give our audience one tip to help them develop their human potential, something practical. Do you have something that you can recommend?
Yeah, to start developing your own potential. And I know the potential, everyone has it, but just
Hmm.
some people realized it, use it, some people still don't.
Yes.
In the beginning, you do things, right? Start doing like maybe next 60 days, or you can, if it's too long for you, start doing it for next 20 days. But
Hmm.
set the time and say, today I'm starting day one and next 20 days. Do things that is difficult to you, something that is difficult to you, whatever. If you find it difficult to come live on Instagram, you do it. If you find it difficult waking up every single day at 4:30 in the morning, you start waking up at 4:30 in the morning. If it's something that is difficult to you and something that you've been always putting away, like procrastinating on, so you start doing it. Set the time and start doing it, and
Hmm.
you will see like amazing changes in your personality. You'll be surprised how the little thing like this, once you do something that is difficult to you, you're gonna really use the resources that you're born with and the one you gained like as an experience during your lifetime. You're gonna use it, and then that means your potential slowly starts opening. So just do it. It can be 20, but I recommend 60 days. Oh, my program Mission to Million is 60 days in English. So 60 days, and that's what the transformation happens. You can start with the 20 days. Like, just decide. We can be one thing or two things. Very difficult to you to do, but you start doing it for 20 days. Whatever. You decide first. What is difficult? Scary to do.
So sort of building your resilience to the stressors.
It's not even this. It's like using your resources to say, "Hey, I can do it," and then your brain kind of switches to say, "Oh, if I can do this one was difficult to me, I can do many other things that were like sort of you thought that you were not capable of doing, but then you can do it." So that's how you keep opening your potential as well.
Okay, Asel, you're also going to be in Cyprus.
Yes.
When are we going to have you here?
So I'm flying on the 17th to I'm on 17th of March, but I'm going to be speaking on the 23rd and 24th of March in Cyprus in Limassol, and
Yes.
yes, it's going to be from 0 to 1,000,000. That's what the whole day I'm going to be actually talking about something similar to what we talked today, but in more details. So I'm going to give the steps that I've been taking, the formulas, the strategies, the principles, so that when you come out of that room, you kind of have all this clear idea. What was I doing wrong? What was I missing out? Where did I stop myself? And how to move forward now differently. Yeah.
Wonderful. And we can add the information here below as well for people to access your event. I'm definitely going to be there, and I'll be meeting you in person.
Looking forward to see
Lovely.
you.
And with regards to your book, where can people find your book?
Well, book is not online, unfortunately, and plus we have this good problem. All the books are sold out here in Central Asia, so we know the publisher is going to the another. The publishing are now preparing for the second batch to publish. It's only in Russian, unfortunately, now. So, but we have the plan to release it in English too. In Cyprus, people who speak the Russian, they can purchase it right at the event.
Okay, wonderful. And if we want to also find your courses, more information on you, where can we find that?
You can go on my Instagram page, asel.sydykova, and there is a link, should be the link, where you can leave maybe the message to. There is a big sales team. They are always advisors. My advisors, they're always they're accessible. So you can send a message. You can email to my email, asel.sydykova@gbforum.com. And my, again, consultants, they will give you more information on how you can enroll to the next Mission to Million. By the way, it starts in June, I think, because this one is already full hours, completely full. We don't have any spaces. But for the next one, Mission to Million, I think it's in June. Is it in June or in April? Or maybe in April even. We have, so you can, they can sign up
So
for
we'll
that.
add all the information here below for anyone listening or watching that wants to attend and like to purchase any of the things we've spoken about. So who is Asel without all the titles?
It's a good question, and Asel is a very, very happy human being that devoted her life to help others to achieve their dreams. And I'm a happy wife because I have such a lovely family. I'm so blessed, thanks God. I'm just a wife. I'm a mom, and I'm a daughter. That's who I am.
Beautiful. Beautiful, Asel. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on here.
Thank you so much, Helena.
For
Thank you
sharing.
for having me here and for giving your audience such a great opportunity also to learn, to kind of see the open doors, to do their part so that the universe will do the rest. And hopefully I'll see you. I'm looking forward to meet you in Cyprus.
Looking forward to it, Asel. Thank you so much.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. It's been an absolute pleasure filming it for you guys. If you like the work that we are putting out into the world, please make sure you like this video and you subscribe to our channel. It really helps the work that we do.
And if you would like to follow our journey on our IG accounts, as well as learn more about our services, we provide everything for you in the description below. Thanks for watching.